Hello everyone and welcome back. It's time for Panzer Corps 7th mission of the Grand Campaign 41. And in a name that I don't know is probably Zhurivka, because we have to advance as far south as Zhurivka. So I think that's the name of this mission. August 20th, 1941. Hello again, Herr General. It's a pleasure to see you once more. I have new orders for you. So we're actually back in Army Group Center now. Previous mission we were lent out to Army Group South to capture Zitomir. Okay, well, we're back. Your instructions are as follows. You are to continue your efforts to encircle the Kiev pocket. Start your efforts to encircle the Kiev pocket by securing all of your marked objectives. Once again, you're advised to avoid directly engaging Kiev, as intelligence has reported a weakened but sizable force is still present in and around the city. For the moment, you're ordered to advance as far south as Zhurivka and Priluki, but no further west than that. I have reports that elements within Kiev may attempt to break out during your operation, and other Soviet relief attempts from the east are attempting to link up with the forces in Kiev. Be careful not to fall between their pincers. Take care, Herr General. I eagerly await your victorious return. Right, let's go to the deployment screen here. Okay, that's nice. I get to sell that. That will make up for the last recon. Bye, Panzer IV-E. It was nice knowing you. Yeah, let's go for some repairs. I'm actually going to give these guys elites, so these guys are now 2 stars. They had a couple of unfortunate rolls, so they took a bit of damage. Happens. Elites. I have to start dishing out a lot more elites now. So keeping the damage low is also quite important. Yep, they all have to go for elites because they're not even close to 3 stars. Actually, plenty of them are relatively close. Like, for example, this, I could keep them above. Sure, that's fine. The next time they're gonna take 1 damage, they probably are able to keep above 3 stars, I think. Elites for you. MVP of the previous mission was this 3.7 centimeter puck. Well, only against the BT and the T-34, I guess. So they didn't do that much, but I was happy to actually see it in action and that it could still do something. So it's actually a viable option against some of the weaker Soviet tanks. Like, it's no match for the KV or even the T-34. But it can still do some against the lighter tanks like the BT or the T-60, T-38, etc., etc., the lower Soviet models. No problems with the artillery here. And right, let's give you regulars though. For the Air Force, there's no way I'm gonna give you guys elites. Right, I do believe I have to buy another 222, unfortunately. I'm actually gonna take a look, because it might be that these Panzer divisions already had quite a few Panzer IIFs. And if that is actually the case, then I might try to represent that recon by buying the Panzer IIF. I know that these Panzer divisions by 1942 actually had a reasonable amount of Panzer IIFs in their divisions still. And I might emulate that by having the Panzer IIF recon. So besides that, and the fact that I still had to rename this here Schützen regiment with the dots on the U, I will be right back in order to check my data on Panzer IIF usage and on this guy. So be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I took care of the things that need to be taken care of. I guess first of all, change the name of the Schützen regiment with the dots on the U. And secondly, I took care of the recon. Now, what happened here? So, I was checking out the data and I saw that at the start of Operation Typhoon, both 3rd and 11th Panzer Division had a significant amount of Panzer IIFs. I'm actually going to go into the upgrade screen here. They had a significant amount of Panzer IIFs, and because these Panzer Divisions use a... I don't want to call it a healthy mix, but they use a mix of different recons and tanks, and the amount of each number varies constantly, and the models vary constantly, and it's all very complicated. But the problem that we have here is that these Panzer Divisions use a mix both of the SD-KFZ 221s, not the 222s, but there is no 221, so I can't buy that. I have to represent that with the 222. So a mix of the 222, the 231 recon, this one, and the Panzer IIF. Like, they use all three of them. And at the beginning of the campaign, I was talking about how both Panzer Divisions use more 221s than 231s. So it's legit for me to use only 222s, because for each individual Panzer Division they use them more. And each unit in Panzer Corps, like each unit that I buy, represents a variety of different units anyway. Like, the regular infantry does not only represent a guy with one gun and that's it. Like, there's also machine gun battalions in there and things like that. So I think that because now there are actually also a lot of Panzer IIFs, actually more Panzer IIFs than SD-KFZ 231s. If I would have to rate these three units according to the numbers being used, I would say that the Panzer IIF is arguably at this point even used more. Or at least in numbers, there are more Panzer IIFs than SD-KFZ 222s. So number 1 and number 2 are definitely filled by the SD-KFZ 221, now 222s, and the Panzer IIF. So I feel that it's fair and accurate to represent the recon by one SD-KFZ 222 and one Panzer IIF. It would have been very easy, well, not easy, but it would have been okay for me to just buy a Panzer IIF, but if we take a look at the stats, we can see that these guys have a movement of 8 wheeled, whereas the Panzer IIF has a movement of 5 tracked. And tracked is not bad, but it certainly isn't the greatest, and the problem is it's still only 5 movement, and 5 movement is not a lot, even for tracked. It's kind of like the equivalent movement of all the other tanks. So what I've done here is I've invested a little bit of prestige, I guess, into upgrading the SD-KFZ 222 that I already had, and used an out of tree upgrade into the Panzer IIF, which I need in order to represent the recon historically. And the reason why I did that is because this guy has a +1 movement hero, and the +1 movement hero I think is best suited on the Panzer IIF and not on the already 8 wheeled track movement. So I decided to upgrade the Panzer 222 into a Panzer IIF in order to help that unit out a whole lot by using that +1 movement bonus. Yes, this cost me an additional costs of the 222 because I already had to buy a Panzer IIF. So instead of just buying a Panzer IIF, I also had to include the costs of buying a new SDKFZ 222, but that's only 137 prestige additionally. So I think it's actually worth it to switch over, as it were, the hero to a unit where it's much better in this case, and to be 137 prestige lighter than to just buy a Panzer IIF, because I think it will be very hard to get a Panzer IIF higher up in experience, especially with that limited movement. Now, this new recon, that, you know, I'll just see how I'm gonna get that up. Like, I don't know really, but I guess I will deploy it more. But yeah, I decided to do it this way. That means that I'm a little bit lower in prestige than I might have been, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that. So that kind of sucks, but oh well, I think it's better this way. And like I said, it was my own fault in the first place for forgetting to move the recon. So yeah. Either way, I do need to get these guys back up to 12 over strength. I guess I'm gonna keep it at 13 then. That was dumb. That was the wrong one. I totally thought that it said 11. Oh well. That's fine. Again, it matters little. These guys do represent a much more powerful division anyway. I already talked about this, that each individual unit of Großdeutschland represents 2 battalions and not 1. So I guess upgrade, even over strengthen them to 13, even though I didn't want to do that, is still legit. Yeah, because I have here 5. Großdeutschland Motorized Regiment has a total of 5 battalions, so that's quite a lot, and not the usual for a regular division, or for a regular regiment. It's even just you know, usually like 3 actually, or 2 even. Like in the case of 11th Panzer, you have the 110th and 111th Schützen Regiment would both only have 2 battalions. So each regiment there has 2 battalions. And then in the 3rd Panzer Regiment, you have 3 plus an additional Kraftschützen battalion. But that's kind of separate from the 3rd Schützen Regiment. So the regiments generally have only 3 battalions, or 3 or 2. Maybe 4 if you count the Kraftschützen battalion in there, but and then most actually don't have an entire battalion. I think even in Kraftschützen, I think that is already a lot. Like the 11th Panzer Division does not have an entire battalion worth of Kraftschützen, for example, even though I am representing those Kraftschützen. But that's also why this is called just regular Schützen Regiment, and this one is actual Kraftschützen battalion. So that's the difference there. This is not an actual Kraftschützen battalion, even though I'm representing them like that, with that particular unit. Like, they did have some Kraftschützen attached to it, but either way, these guys have 5 battalions in the regiment, so that is really a lot, and that's why I have to make 2 battalions in one unit here in order to represent entire Großdeutschland. And that's also why these guys aren't overstrength, because this is a regular battalion and these are 2 battalions. Right, let's talk about strategy for this mission though. For this mission, I want to deploy the 3rd Panzer Division on the right, whereas I want to deploy the 11th Panzer Division on the left. So I'm switching those up, and the reason for that is that, once again, it seems like most of the maneuvering and action is going to be on the right side. and because these are heavy tank battles, I want the 3rd Panzer Division, which has more tanks, to be in a position to engage those tanks. I think it's better that these are the ones that are going to engage those enemy T-34s, etc. Because we have basically a complete reversal of the previous map. So this time we're pretty much going to stick to the right for the most part. After capturing this here airfield, the first airfield that we pretty much need to capture is down here near Pliski, because there's no way that my bombers are going to be able to operate from this airfield all the way down to Priluki and Zhurivka. So basically I'm dictated by the game to move actually immediately to the east to capture that airfield, and then from there head straight down, because there's no other way my air units are going to be able to operate. So I need that airfield out there in order to then proceed. That's the only way to go. There's no other airfield in the center. So I need to secure the upper right as well. There are a couple cities there. Yeah, relief elements from the east are attempting to link up with the force in Kiev. So we'll basically have to check all this right in territory for relief forces that are trying to link up. That's going to be the job of the 3rd Panzer. They're basically going to go here, secure this area, then secure this area, and then we'll see how quickly we can get to Zhurivka. But this airfield is critical in the success of this operation. So that's 3rd Panzer. They are going there and then down. For the 11th Panzer, they are going to try and take Smolyanka over here. And they are going to basically go for these center cities here, Nizhyn, and then probably take Kozelets. We'll have to do a bit of scouting, but I think that's fine. So I think only this city we're probably not supposed to take, but I think these surrounding ones are fine. So now we take this, and basically going here through these woods and this territory. So going straight down, trying to capture these here objectives as well. Meanwhile, I do need to keep scouting this here area, because the enemy might go out and try to retake those cities in that breakout attempt. So I do need to be careful for that and make sure I don't get snared in that. But yeah, I want to be doing a bit of scouting for that. And I think as well, if I capture these here cities, I'm close to capturing these cities, I want to direct my attention to whatever is going on around here, so that yeah, we don't get overrun pretty much. Again, I don't think we gain prestige for this mission. I'm actually not sure on which missions you actually do get prestige. Especially at the beginning, I think there might be very little to none of them. But usually I'm done very late in the scenario anyway, so then it doesn't matter. Alright, let's get deploying the air forces. I guess once again the usual 3 air units are going to do just fine. But I'm building up towards getting 4, as I mentioned before. The 2 Stukas, once again, I'm going for 1 fighter bomber and I guess 1 strategic bomber. Took the Dornier 17Z last time. Let's take the Heinkel 111 this time again, so they get to see some action. I'm sure they'll be fine. I actually want to buy another Stug here, I think, and the reason for that is that I actually want to have both Panzer divisions to be able to have access to a Sturmgeschütz, because I think that they are very useful when you're on the offensive, and on the defensive the naval warfare is more useful, but I think it really helps in advancing forward, and especially on a map like this, or even in a previous map when you just have to quickly move forward to take territory. it's excellent to have this Stug as a forward artillery position around which you can rally your forces. I think that's absolutely critical. And also on a map like this. So I'm gonna also name this guy, and that's just going to be Sturmgeschütz Abteilung 210, because Sturmgeschütz Abteilung 210 fought in Operation Typhoon. Unfortunately, under the 3rd Panzer Group, they didn't have too much to do with the Panzer divisions that I'm using, but hey, that shouldn't spoil the fun. Surprisingly, you can have troops. Oh no, this is just as terrible of a deployment as it was the last time. It really does not get any better. Alright, let's start with the 11th Panzer Division, and the 11th Panzer Division is going to get the new Stug here. Yeah, I can use them interchangeably, but I want to keep the Stugs at least separate. So, one Stug is for the 11th Panzer Division, one Stug for the 3rd Panzer, and I'm not going to deploy both the Stug and the Naval Warfare. It's one out of core unit per... or at least one out of the division unit per division. So these guys not part of 3rd Panzer Division. They are one unit outside of the division for now. And I'll leave the other, I'll leave the Naval Warfare at home. Like, I will not deploy this mission. 119th Artillery. I can actually put them behind the front line a little bit, and then the this is a bit odd because I have deployed one part of the 119th. It's the second part. Here. I keep forgetting that they put this extra unit all the way down there. It's so confusing. Sure, let's deploy this way. It doesn't matter. I'm definitely going for the Grenadiers up front here. And the Panzer Pioneers as well. So those guys up front. For this mission, I'll be once again taking the 37cm puck. Let's just place them a little bit closer for now. Kratschützen, sure. And then also going to be deploying some tanks. Yeah, I'll deploy this Panzer II, so that'll be fine. You don't have 3 stars experience, and I'll be deploying these guys. So it's nice that these guys now have 3 stars. Infantry. Well, certainly I will deploy those. So I'm kind of looking to deploy most of my forces over in this here area, so I don't have to go from behind there. We do have this here Bridge Pioneer cannon fodder to deploy or during this mission as well, which is nice. Always happy to see units that can soak up a little damage for the rest of my forces. So I think I deployed enough infantry for 11th Panzer. They have 4 infantry now. And yeah, I'm not taking the 231st, so definitely deploying the new and fresh 3rd Aufklärungsabteilung. Maybe they can see some action at the front. So yeah, I'm busy with the third Panzer division now. Definitely taking you, and of course, Older Deer. Maybe I should switch some of this up because I kind of want to take this guy too. Yeah, let's leave you at home to play the other infantry. All right. Yeah, you in the back. Let's talk tanks. The new Panzer 3G. Actually not doing too bad here. Now at 2 stars of experience, which I'm quite happy for. Let's take the Stuk as well here. Double artillery. I think they all have 375 now. Yeah. Alright, so double artillery. I got the Stuk, so that's all the artillery for these guys. I deployed 1 tank so far. Definitely gonna go for more then. It's already Panzer 3G, so not necessarily looking to deploy another one of those. And the Panzer 2, so 4 tanks for those guys. Then I still need some infantry. I will have the SE infantry to follow these guys because they will probably fight a little bit more in the woods here and then potentially around Maladivista, whatever. Alright. That's those 2 guys. Let's see what I'm missing here. 88s, of course. Alright, not the greatest deployment ever, but let's get started. Yes. If only I put that 88 at the front. Well, you know, last time I was lucky with my 88 placement. This time not so much. Oh well. So we have to move around this because they have that there artillery, although I could already shell it. So it's not gonna be the biggest issue. And this is already where I think having the Stuk comes in very handy, because now I can place my tanks in such a way that they're already protected immediately. And the great thing now is that this bomber will not be visible if I clear out this area, so that should be very nice. But yeah, like I said, it's really great that now I already have a good defensive position at the front. Question now, this is a regular infantry? Oh yeah, they started using regulars again. Wow. They had nearly only conscripts during the last one, but it seems like they switched up their game here. Yeah. Yeah, great. Really? That kind of messes up a whole lot, actually. Could shell him again, but I don't really like that. I guess for Oladir, moving in here. Don't want to get too hasty and go all the way forward. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. So I kind of need to do a bit of scouting here. This is 4 movement, 6. So going in here I can still move none back because stopping is 7. Let's go here first. Okay, I'd rather the recon not necessarily be seen immediately, so what I'll do is I will allow the enemy to go in and basically attack the Panzer 3G if they so feel like, but with strict protection of course. But these guys need to be revealed first, so I hope that that will diminish any potential damage they take if the enemy goes for that immediately. It's actually not the greatest of movements here because I really need to dig myself out, as it were. It's a tad dangerous to move here because if they have a unit here or even a cavalry here, it will be revealed. So kind of want to stay to the back. I probably won't even be able to get everybody out here, no. Right, and especially for a first turn, I think it's way too dangerous to go out there, for example, because the enemy will surely show up with some beautiful airwaves. At least it's not 15 strength anymore. Either way, if I destroy this, let's just try to do that for now, indeed. And yeah, I guess this initial movement is just not too great. Oh well. Let's deploy. At least one here to protect this and these artillery, and then here, I guess. I would really appreciate it if you would get destroyed. Ooh, okay, great. That means I can make a fighter trap here. Alright, went fairly well. Get rid of the fighter. Just looking a little bit at their operational range. Because this is a pretty big advancement to be making. But I think I can manage that. Very, very nice hit. You won't hear me complain about something like that. Right, attacking causes it to move in here, and then I can easily destroy it with an infantry if necessary. But I don't. This pushes it in there, which is not necessarily helpful. Not that the Kratschützen will be able to do much about it though. Yeah, I kind of need to move the Kratschützen out there, so the only thing I can really do here is shell it again. And I'll be fine. Gives me some very good scouting around this area also, but again, there does not seem to be a whole lot yet. All the counteroffensives are supposed to come from the east, so I don't actually expect there to be too much here. But that's also why it's good that we are scouting so much. So we actually get to see there's not a whole lot. Just in case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they could easily have something like a KV or something else, and this protects this flank very, very well. So no need to worry there. Then the only problem is this other flank, so I kind of need to move something in there. And that kind of means that technically if I could get another infantry in there, but I don't, I'd be fine. But well, doing that with Oladir is fine too, to make sure that my flank or the middle area is secure, but still. Like, I'll be going straight down through here to take down all of these not only regulars but also this artillery. Yeah. So what is the likelihood they'll go out here? I don't think that much. They'll likely follow this route. So I don't really expect to run into too much trouble here, and I kinda want to move the artillery up here. So, you know, that will give me a little bit of room to maneuver at least. Because right now it's not a lot, and these guys still need to move to the east, and that's kind of the pivot that I'm trying to make here. Well, they got something going up from there. One, two, three. How much here, Helmut Winsberger? The thing here is that I can actually shell this, but if I move an infantry in here and they have tanks coming from down here, that would be a problem, because even though that attack would be really good, they wouldn't be that well defended. But I think for this turn it's probably for the best to do something like that. Can we just please, for the love of everything that is dear to me, stop getting spotting heroes on my infantry? This is already the so manyth. I've had so many spotting heroes. It's just spotting, spotting, spotting. Unbelievable. I don't want them. I don't want spotting heroes game. Please stop giving me spotting heroes. This is literally the fifth infantry that got spotting. I already sold one. 2 became Kratschützen. I have another one, which currently in my team still with spotting, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I already get rid of it? This is Helmut. Do you have spotting? You? No, did I leave him at home? Can I check my reserves? Okay, no. Luckily, no. But please stop, game. I don't want them. I literally... I really don't want any spawning heroes. Alright, game. You got me. I'm also not really liking those odds, so I'm actually gonna do this. Just so I can make sure. They can still see that though, so let's use the bridge pioneers to take it. I don't really care if they get smashed. So I kinda need a flanking force here. Because if these guys are gonna come down, they're gonna cause all sorts of nasty business. It's the third Schützen. Just can't believe that I got another spotting hero. It's just unbelievable. Alright, what can they see? Oh, I completely forgot about you. Keep forgetting units. It's a bit silly. It's because I don't see them on the screen, like, distinctively. Because I'm constantly focused with my eyes on one point. And not on the wider screen. So then I'm moving the bridge pioneers, but my eyes are so focused on the pioneers that I don't see the pioneers behind them. Yeah, so moving the bridge pioneers, but then I don't see the pioneers behind them indeed. There's probably nothing that the AI can see though. But I guess the best protection would be here and here. Rugged defense from a truck. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Well, the bridge pioneers went down fast. Okay. That's a lot of conscripts. That's rather disappointing. Not gonna lie. I kinda did expect more from them. So there are also some regulars in the mix. Let's just get rid of you. For personal hatred against T-26Ss because they have air attack. So I really hate them. Is it a rational hatred? No, probably not. But still. Yeah, I could use Oladier there, but I kind of need him to protect these woods here. Come on, you can do it. Ha! Nice one. Alright. That's looking pretty good. If anything, they're gonna go for the bridge pioneers probably, which is of course my goal. My other goal here is to retreat a bit. These guys don't have artillery cover and are not gonna get it from either of those artillery pieces. But if these infantry come, I need them to be able to be protected. So the Stug needs to move back a bit. And I need appropriate cover for that. I am looking to destroy this though, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he cannot go back and attack, but what I can probably do here, I think I can take out at least one of these conscripts. .500 experience. 12 is even not that bad. I took down 2 strength points of a conscript and I got to 12. Count me in. The one thing I don't really like is hills, because the hills, I'm often confused. So they are close terrain, but only with base entrenchment 1 and initiative cap 5, because the initiative caps stay so high. Enemy tanks still have a good attack. That's the problem with hills, I think. What do you have? 2 defense? Plus 1 defense. Well, something's gonna get ambushed. Don't know what it is yet. Oof. These air battles are luckily favored in the wrong position. Let's call it like that. Yes, I know the positioning of my tanks is mumbo jumbo. But they'll straighten it out after this counterattack. I mean, I just need some good positioning for the moment here. Okay, let's face it, what are the odds that they're gonna launch a double offensive here? It's probably not that big, right? Let's have you as a strategic reserve for the center. So I'm gonna pull you back, put these guys in there so they can move around. Wow. Ouch. Okay, not bad. Another air engagement. Engagement on turn 3. Man, that is fast. These guys are aggressive. I certainly did not expect an air wave on turn 3. Well, they got me pretty good here on my Panzer. Of course, these guys also have very low air defense. Any of my other tanks has at least 3 more. So it's not that surprising that they hit them that hard, even with the MiG. You must have a ton of experience now. 46. Yeah, I should not have removed those Kratzutzen. I was definitely very wrong in doing that. Just need to assess the situation a bit here. Looking to seriously suppress the Katyusha. That's good. Need to keep Rudo on that KV because that cannot be allowed to go and attack. Now, is it worth another attack? So, yeah, these guys definitely don't have a high enough chance to suppress 2 of them. Ah, well, guess they would. It's a shame they don't get too much experience for dealing such a heavy blow against such an important unit. So definitely using the 88s to try and deal with the enemy air force whilst positioning my fighters to cover for my artillery. We're dealing with 1 more bomber and 1 more fighter here. So those need to go. How am I gonna get rid of you? I think I found a pretty decent solution. And I think it involves a method called surrender. That's actually good for me. That's not so much. Isn't it beautiful seeing both 11th and 3rd Panzer working in perfect harmony to finish off the KVs and other units? That's beautiful. Alright, you got cover. I mean, not the best cover, but it's only deer. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Alright, that counteroffensive is nearly stopped dead in its tracks. But there is unfortunately no way I can deal with all of the air units. I don't even mind it that much if the KV repairs during this turn. Not gonna lie. But I have only one more artillery, so if I'm gonna try and destroy something, what's it gonna be? Like, the Katyusha is definitely gonna be a problem. I kind of want to push forward here, but for me to do that, I want to put the Stug in this position, this spot here. Then wow. One, two. Because there doesn't seem to be that much armored resistance anymore, so I kind of feel like having infantry even out in the open now is probably safe. But having you're gonna go in here. Okay, I think that looks good, but let me double check. Actively looking to lure the enemy into attacking the bridge pioneers. But artillery protection, you as well. You're gonna die, but that's the purpose of your placement. Artillery protection is probably gonna be fine, and they can protect all these units. Definitely worth it. This is blocking that off. Okay, this is good. There's no need to involve those units in the battle here. Okay, that's that. Then I definitely need one fighter to attack these in order to protect the bomber. Question is though, what would these guys go for otherwise? These two artillery are protected. These should probably be safe from aerial bombing. These guys are protected. These important guys are protected. If they're not gonna go for one of my bombers, then these guys are likely to go after the Panzer IV or the Panzer III. But they have a vision of 2, so they can always see it when I would be going after them. Could also attack both of them and then hope they go to this airfield, which they likely won't do. But even my odds of destroying this are pretty slim. And then I'm gonna go after the regular again. Let's just see what this does, because if this is a very good hit, like 8 damage, then I'm inclined to move the other fighter there, try to destroy it, and just take the hit from the fighter. But that's, say that this damage is 4 damage, then I have no chance to destroy it, probably, even with the 3 units combined. And then I think I'm better off just leaving it. Like in this case. Because now I need both these and still be marginally lucky in order to finish it off. But then these guys likely will go for the bomber again. And I kind of hope they will, because I can just give him regular replacements. Because it's very easy for him to get higher up again. So maybe I should just do that and expose him to that fighter again. But yeah, that's what I said. I need to be at least still marginally lucky to beat him. Like a below average roll wouldn't cut it, and indeed it did not. Yeah, so we'll see. I will get my opportunity with these guys. They will go back, and if I'm lucky, they will go here. Otherwise, I have to calculate when to expect them again. Are there any bombing targets? I guess only you. Why not? Okay, so they're... Really? Huh. Well, my tanks are getting smashed here, but I don't think they're supposed to be that lucky either. If I'm... Like... Unfortunately, I can't see what those odds are, but I'm guessing they're really lucky there. On those hits. Because a regular fighter... with no additional air power dealing 3 to my tanks both times, I don't think that's really what's expected here. I think the expected outcome is 1. So I'm just having the bad beats. Well, I'm used to the game giving me bad beats. So it doesn't matter. I have to remain focused though, and not let that distract me. That kind of stuff can be pretty distracting. Like getting bad rolls can really affect your gameplay, and you need to be really careful not to let it get to you, I think. At least that's something that I have. Like, I know I can get a bit shaken up by that, just because it's unfortunate. What am I? Well, they can't see this, so it should be okay. This is what I mean. Like, this is already bad play. I can't reinforce that anymore, so that's pretty bad, actually. Good. Yeah, that definitely means I need to go after these two. Because I need both of these to remain out of action now. So they can't attack this. So I guess they got another counteroffensive coming from down there. If they attack, they're gonna move in there, so that's not ideal. The only question is, why can't... Oh yeah, they got stuck indeed. So I need to get the Stuk in this position. Katyushas are also pretty expensive, so the more times this thing gets damaged, the less units they will buy at the end. Alright, so this side is pretty much toast. Oh, they still have plenty because they were able to rebuy. Let's just try to deal with this side too, though. They have dug in quite well. But I'm still kind of looking to finishing off both of them. Because oh, you can't get there because of these guys. Alright, so let's shell you. Oh, we're actually already halfway through the map. I I literally thought that, you know, we're just really up top there, but this is already half of it. Okay, I'm actually just looking to push them here, not necessarily destroy. Okay, because thing is, I really wanted to take that city. I'm really afraid that they might come, but they cannot see anything here now, and that was kind of the purpose of the whole operation. To block off this area from sight and to take down those two very dug-in infantry, because if they're going to stay there, they're going to just tick up, and it's going to take a lot of effort at some point to dig them out, and that was kind of what I was trying to prevent there. Which went well, but I do have to reorganize myself a bit, because I don't... So attacking causes it to move in there. Still tricky. Ugh. Well, I wanted a 12 strength anyway. I accidentally overstrengthed it, and that was not actually what I was supposed to do. So let's see. You're not visible. Definitely looking to take down the fighter. Alright, let's check that again. So this line is solid except for that. They can't go in through here, so... but I actually can put an infantry in there and then they'll be fine. So let's again use the Panzers as a reserve for an offensive on the next turn. Block them here. Block them here and... here. So the enemy cannot come into this defensive position, and I'm sure this will be fine. These two are severely weakened and they are likely to just repair. Do want to put another fighter there in case they do some shenanigans there though. I'll just let these repair. I don't mind that much. So what are they likely to bomb then? They can pretty much see everything. I guess I'll just cover these. Yeah, going after you. It's fine. I'm actually pretty stunned by the amount of counteroffensives the enemy is able to put up here. This almost reminds me of 1944. And let's get rid of this T60. it was empty all along. Could have just as well attacked it. Okay, so that would push it back. Yeah, sure. Doing some proper recon. And tell me this is alright. So my right flank is secure for this turn. And we can hopefully start looking into these cities and see how good of a grab that's gonna be. Meanwhile, I got lucky not to get attacked there, so definitely not complaining about that. But we do have a infantry pocket over in the center that needs to be dealt with. Now, I was previously talking about how this airfield is going to be very important. And once I take it next turn, I'll be glad to land my air forces there. Now that bomber is likely to come back on this turn, so that is definitely something I need to watch out for. Can't finish off all the infantry, so there's that, but one other thing that I'm a bit worried about. Well, we'll get to that. Can I use you? Yes, I will use this one then to scout. Okay, only this AT tank. But then this is as far as I go. Like, I don't need to go in there. And I'll gladly now shift my attention to the east. Like, there's nothing in this particular area, so I don't need to take that for now. And I can leave this guy here by himself. The enemy is not likely to get up into this venue. Like, there's nothing for them to gain there. They would either go up to this side or straight up north, I think. But I want to keep close attention on that lane. Anyhow. This is just gonna push them there. It's not gonna destroy them. I know. So what are the odds here that I can destroy that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm willing to wager a bit. Sure. Well, I guess that didn't turn out very well. Ah, well. But against the regulars, I'm not too afraid of too much damage. We'll see. I mean, my Panzers are close to 3 stars. It's like, I think those odds would be pretty bad for them, so that they are not likely to go and attack, but we'll see. So currently they cannot see the bomber here, but alright, let's do it like that. Oh yeah, this. Just use the Krautschützen. Alright, as I expected. Alright, both is 5. Kinda had hoped to be able to destroy that relatively quickly. But let's just do it like this. There we go. There we go. Then these guys. Finish off the BT. Let's see though. Still have Deer. 1, 2, 3, 4. It can go a lot further. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so let's not use Deer just yet. Pretty much just banking on the idea that I can finish off all these guys, because now I'm leaving myself exposed to enemy counteroffensive. But this is a fast way to clear out all the enemies, even though I'm leaving myself exposed here. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's empty. And this pushes them in down here. But then I can finish them off with something else. Now that is very problematic. Very problematic indeed. Because like I said, I had banked on the idea of finishing off all of them. But now they can suddenly see this entire area. And that has me concerned. And since I cannot... Like, there's no unit that can go in there. Yeah, the Stug. But what are your odds here? $13 times 21, huh? Alright, that's very good. Okay, at least that means that none of them are visible at the moment, and that is what is important. Okay, they have a unit there. I've taken over a significant portion of the map, and that at least helps too. Okay, so they do have units in here. Question is, how much effort do I want to put into clearing that out and taking these? Because I'm gonna need to split up my forces then, one at least going down, and like I have 11 turns left, and that's quite a lot, so I do expect a lot of resistance still. So I'm gonna send, of course, the 11th Panzer surely to take Zhurivka here. But then... what... like, after that, they're going towards the east, I guess? And I guess if I go after this first, clear that out, and then go down, I guess it's kind of like a pincer on the city. Depending on how fast I can do that. I guess that's okay. Well, I can protect from this side for a bit. But then I'm sending at least 2 artillery up there if I want to take that. Oh. But I think that's probably fine. If I sent... yeah, I definitely would like to take those. Okay, but at least there was no counterattack, so that means that I can reorganize a bit, because I definitely need 1 to 2 turns to completely reorganize my troops and make sure that everybody's at the right location, because my units are mixed left and right. Okay, let's Albert Kirscher. Alright, so let's move him up to here. Okay, so they have no information on him yet. Like, the biggest problem that might occur here is that I need to move 3rd Panzer over in this direction anyway, because only moving 11th Panzer might get it caught in a pincer attack between Kiev and whatever forces might be here. That's not what I'm looking for. So my first priority as well is to at least establish a perimeter on this side. Basically, establishing a perimeter so none of my trucks is able to get attacked while they're advancing. That's pretty much what I'm doing right here. Now this is part of 6th Panzer, so they already need to advance. But I'm seriously contemplating bombing the BA-10, but it really depends on whether they have anti-aircraft guns or not there. And important aircraft this turn might have to land at the airfield anyway, like Rudel with 19 fuel. I guess he could make it. But this needs fuel and ammo as well. You need fuel and ammo. Yeah, so that's what I meant with... this is definitely a turn in which I need to reorganize for a bit. Well, yeah, let's wait on that, because that's something I could do anyway. So it's not high on my priority list. Yeah, I think that if I want to bomb, doing that with these guys is fine, because they need less protection than my bombers. And let's just send those guys back for refueling for this turn. Alright, that looks good. They're allowed to see that. I don't really mind. As long as they can't get through. That's looking pretty solid, and they can't. And that certainly allows me to move up that division by quite a bit. I mean, they can see this, but I don't feel too threatened by that. Alright, I'm gonna start bombing here then. Who knows what will come of that, and I certainly don't need to attack right away, so I can just leave it like that for now. Next turn I can't shell them. I'll bomb them again. I'll dig them out. Either way, 1, 2, 3. It's always a bit tricky since there's a lot they might go for. In this case, I think I'm not even looking to make any traps. Just looking to protect the units that they can see. That might be important. Because traps are not going to work out, and I'm just like, the chance that they're going for something else at this stage is too big. Okay. They took the initiative to themselves, huh? Let's make sure they're out of ammo. I think using trucks might be a bit overdoing it, but I can take that with these guys on the next turn. We'll see if that's empty or not. Okay, some proper recon. So, nothing so far. And taking care of that heavy artillery is certainly important, and I wouldn't mind taking that airfield either. Okay, you could... Do I need to shell this? I guess I kinda do. So... let's get to that then. Naturally, still looking to block this area by using the infantry. Which is not the greatest of defenses, but if they're going to move into this general direction, they're going to move towards the Panzer first anyway. And then they can't spot this. So the next unit is also going to move into the Panzer 6, and only then do they have the potential of seeing that infantry. And but by that time, I don't really worry about any attack there anymore. So that's not a big deal. And then this Panzer Spearhead is heavy defense against this here artillery, against which I do not want to expose my infantry. Now I do have to be careful, because if I take both this and these two, the mission is over, and I don't know whether I want it to be over that quickly. I'm not saying that that's quick to happen. I'm sure they must have another counteroffensive at least. Like, so far, I cannot imagine the mission being done. So that is certainly something to worry about. Well, to think about, at least. So they will surely have anti-aircraft here, and if they have the 3-range anti-aircraft, I'm in trouble if I bomb that. I'm not so sure whether I want to actually attack that by air. Let's just call it that way. So moving up the artillery is necessary. Well, let's actually scout this, because okay, it's empty. That means that I want to immediately move this artillery down, and not gonna waste any time with that. That makes my life a bit easier, but not by too much. I actually want to call this one back and you here. This is very powerful to have as a flank, and I still need to recover for a bit, so I'm still looking to protect myself because I don't have the artillery coverage that I want here. And I'm playing it safe because we have so many turns left. Like there is no real rush for me at the moment. Can't see that, so blocking you that way is decent. Now the enemy can't really get in there. Only unfortunate thing is that I cannot protect these. I can only protect these back two. And I will do that. I mean, I don't know when a next airwave might appear, and I'm actually feeling the breath of a new air attack in my neck. Let's call it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, they're never going to be able to get in the rear of that. Alright, so some decent maneuvering. If they're going to launch a counteroffensive, they're going to move this way. That's also what concerns me, because this is a victory hex. This is definitely something there. Right here. Okay. Or just a KV only. Sweet. Rudel being able to one-shot the enemy's units kinda helps a lot. Still gonna shell it though, because I know that the enemies... Yeah, I don't... No, it's still out of range. This is actually fine. I mean, this artillery is annoying, but I might be able to destroy it. Yeah. Let's actually do it. I need another fighter for protection then. But it's fine. Alright, so that secures this flank, but I do want to be careful in the back. Now, we did see a couple of units out there too. This is definitely worth investigating. Oh yes. That is a counteroffensive waiting to happen. What does it mean? Well, it kind of means that it's probably beneficial for me not only to set up defenses, but they might be triggered to go and attack the moment one of these two victory hexes will have been taken, or on a specific turn. Like, they are going to attack by a certain trigger, and I can only guess what that trigger will be, and that's likely well, there aren't that many options, but that's usually a turn or taking a certain hex. So in this case, the AI might be tailored to go and attack once I take either this or this. And I do want to protect myself against that. So I want to both take that hex and protect myself from their attack. So what I'm gonna do here, I don't like that one. Alright, so we'll see whether this is the trigger or not. At any rate, I think my defensive setup should work out pretty well. At the very least, once the artillery here pops out. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Well, I kind of committed myself to blocking that now, but they're probably going to go after this, though. Maybe moving them here wasn't the smartest. Let's get some reinforcements into that area, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Yeah, let's have you move here, though. Pioneers as a reserve unit, although they can't go that far. That's it, though. That was not the trigger. Seems I was wrong. I guess that's good for me. But... Okay. No, they can't reach that. Rudel can. Let's take out... I'll try to take out the most dangerous of those forces then. Not too concerned about the BTs, to be honest. Well, I do have to attack that at some point. So let's just go and start moving into that general direction while keeping a strong rear guard. I mean, there are some forces here to destroy as well. So I'm not for one of targets, but... Do I need to shell it again? Yes, I do. So these guys with artillery backup. The question is, where do I move you? Well, I'll wait for a bit and see what I can do here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they could target it, but these guys are so weak. Let's still switch them up though. Push them in there. Okay, we also know there's no KV specifically around that area. So that's nice. If I move you guys here, they can start shelling on that city on the next turn. Okay, that works too. Let's move the Panzer 3F in there. And... I'll move in the Panzer 4 here, and then the Panzer 3 out here. So that will give me good scouting on this side as well. I don't know what's here though. This might be one huge counteroffensive. But so far, like, I know that this is a pretty big perimeter. Like, the only problem that I have... Actually, let's just move you back. So, it doesn't really matter if they take back either of these hexes, but taking back this victory hex will be a problem. So if I let the pioneers dig in, at least for the next so many turns, at the very least I have them to block whatever stupid-ass recon might come there or whatever. The enemy has been problematic in their trying to sneak unit in there. So if they suddenly come with the guy with the truck or whatever, then that's looking pretty good. Yeah, out here though, I don't want to expose myself immediately in one go, and they do have that artillery. Next turn, I'd have a pretty decent shot at that artillery. Or even any unit they have around here. Well... the only problem is that the recon would not have, or these guys do not have good protection from there. So I think that waiting one turn actually will set me up perfectly. Then my only concern would be okay, currently I can attack from this side, but I also want to move these guys there. So this is a bit tricky, but I think if I am a bit lucky, I'll be fine. Alright, fighters and these guys. So, what can they see? Actually, absolutely nothing at the moment. Now that I've taken that, it is possible that they will now counterattack, but we'll see. Yes, they will. Okay. Seems like they're gonna throw that in the mix too. T-34 is the most dangerous unit, as I said before. I think I don't need artillery for this. Nah. What? Are you kidding me? +2 dice roll. That's unbelievable. And he was at 3 experience too. Now he's gonna dip below 3 again? Oh man. That's terrible. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of anti-air. Okay, I guess I'm all in. I certainly am. So this guy is a bit of an issue. Just like this forest hex is. Real question is, where do I put this Stug? And I think I'm gonna put that here. Okay. Because there's no other unit that can really go into the forest except for these. Which I don't really like. But then putting the Panzer IV there is a tad dangerous too. Alright, well, you have 12 stoke protection. You'll be fine. Okay, if I attack, they're gonna retreat out here. Or there. So this will allow me to cover this flank as well. The only problem is that can't really do a whole lot about this thing. And maybe Old Deer can fix that? No, they can't. Well, the thing with Old Deer is they're 345 experience. So if I attack with Old Deer, like the experience, they can just get it back through getting regular replacements. So then I'm actually still inclined to attack that in order to protect more damage on, for example, my fighters. Although they are also pretty high, so they can also go for regular replacements. I think on Old Deer it's probably gonna be easier to get back at it, and they have 8 times 19% chance. Alright, well that didn't go as planned, which happens pretty often, unfortunately. So And I kind of want to keep this alive because now the infantry is pretty much protected. Because if these guys attack, well, they can't really attack into that. So, well, the only thing is that I kind of wasted that experience for them, but at least they're 4 strength down. Like, I would have liked that to be more, but what can we do? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, because my defense here is pretty impeccable, I do need to protect myself from the other side, which I will do. Yeah, you have 8 ammo, sure. And wager a hit. It's pretty late in the campaign, so I don't really expect too many enemy air units now. But they might still come at me with some. They didn't. That's an ambush. They're trying to buy units now. They would have to do it either here or here then, or in Kiev, or up here. It's worth checking. Not there. They also didn't air attack, they just repaired. Well, that helps me a lot. That's actually great. Nice. Alright. I'm disinclined to use air forces to scout at least this, because if they are gonna buy, they're gonna buy anti-aircraft, and yeah, that's just no good for me. Alright, let's try to get some experience back on the new Panzer, because he's gonna need elites anyway. I'm surprised the mission is over so soon. I mean, I pretty much am done with all the objectives. I'm just... it's so fast. I didn't take this. I didn't see them trying to take anything. I'm just a bit confused here. That they just aren't putting up as big a fight as I expected they would. Well, too bad. So these can be almost defeated. That's fine. They're no longer a threat. Well, that was a bummer. Maybe it's to my advantage. So Yeah, they did buy stuff there. Those are certainly fresh troops. That is quite something, but okay. That makes me change a few things around here. Just putting the Stug in there is no longer just an option. As much as I would like it. Also leaves these guys exposed, unfortunately. Luckily, they didn't buy too much yet, so it's not really any danger to the Panzer IV this turn. Okay, so I'm quite happy about that, because... let's see, though. Do I really want to move you like that? So then they can go down here. Can't really attack anything. Yes. Alright, still... keeping up my defense here. And this infantry will get dug in, so that shouldn't be an issue. Let's get you to the middle one. Yeah. Fighters. Back. No, they didn't buy anything this turn because of the speed of with which the enemy is done. So they must not get a lot of prestige here, and they did repair those too. So that's nice. Let's take that city. Yeah, against them any attack is bound not to give you much prestige. Alright, not taking that yet though. I've prestige to gather. Yep. Okay. That's clearly enough. Okay, well. Now, why did I do that first? That was just silly. Well, now I won't get my 2 prestige from the conscripts. Oh well. I'll just let these guys repair themselves. I don't really see him attack anything. Let's just weaken them a little bit, so I'm 100% sure they will actually try to recover. Alright, let's set ourselves up to make sure they don't counterattack. And so that we have some decent defensive positions around there. Not that it's very likely at this stage, but they might try to do something on those last turns. Okay, all my air forces are positioned. Guess I'm very lucky there that I didn't take any damage. I'm not even gonna try and attack him. Well, I have the Shtug. 8-5. It's taken him long enough. Alright, there's no way I can get any prestige from them. Let's actually send you here. You back over to this side. You're getting fuel and ammo. And I guess the only thing I want to do here is protect them against fighter attack. And that's it. All right. Take these. Also with this, there's no way I'm gonna get any prestige out of this, because by the time they're down to 1 strength, there's nothing. I guess I can get maybe something out of it. 1 or 2 prestige? 3. take it. I don't reckon this is gonna work. Yeah, let's not overdo it and take that. Like that would be a bit dangerous. I'm just gonna see whether I get prestige per turn or not, but I don't think I do. I completely was not paying attention. Though, as it is, I don't see them doing anything in one turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess they could do something. Let's just take this. View the battlefield. Yeah, so taking this is indeed already not good because of these guys. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna do anything with that. Alright. I think overall it was a pretty successful mission. I mean, the enemy Air Force got 2 heavy hits in on these 2 Panzers, but I think they just got really lucky there. I think usually attacks by Air Force on Panzers is averaged on 1 to maximum 2 damage. Like I think the chance is like 13% chance per hit, so they got some pretty bad beats in, but for the rest I think my team is looking pretty solid. I can get away with not too many repairs, so I'm pleased with the way this mission went actually. Yeah, I'm surprised these guys didn't do anything. Like I was paying attention to it. I don't even know how well I would have been able to react if they went up there with like 3 T-3440s. Like, yeah, depending on what term that would be, I might have to shift some forces back. But with that counteroffensive, well, I had plenty of turns. Like, this was destroyed pretty much after turn 12, 13, and I was just kind of messing around for 5 turns, just grabbing this and making a few surrenders. So, I guess then overall, I might still have been able to do it if I would quickly rush these forces back up. The biggest problem with that is that there's no actual road in the middle. Like here and here, there's nothing in between. You have to go through this area near Kiev. So that will make it problematic, but it went fine. They didn't counterattack, and we took all the cities except for this, but you're not supposed to take that, I think. Let's check the briefing. Another astounding victory, Air General. You're proving to be quite adept at achieving them. With this new region under our control, the forces around Kiev have been placed in a serious precarious position, and their relief forces have temporarily withdrawn in defeat. Well done. Right, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Take care. And see you all in next one, which is Zolotonosha, I think it's called. Yeah, well, see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.